still go through that old system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That it goes out anywhere, yes.
Well, I don't see any problem with that.
Well, what happens
Mr.
then?
Shepherd?
Hello, how are you?
I was walking one morning, I was driving, running off to college.
Let's see, that's the...
And there was an ambulance parked on houses in front of the woman that I couldn't get by. It's too bad, yeah, it's too bad.
When it goes back into this ditch.
Yeah, right now there's a partially concrete channel that runs down through here, and then it opens back up into just a natural creek bed. So we're just going to be tying into that concrete in that location.
So that can...
This is natural creek too.
Yes, ma'am.
Back up or go another way. Well, okay. Again, right. But I want to start again from the south.
Okay, you started.
Well, I'm just conscious.
That would be great for your home.
Yeah, the street was like just very narrow. And the asphalt
Oh, this is collapsing?
He was too
How are y'all?
Okay, so what's this little piece for?
Right now there's I think a 36-inch culvert that runs through there right now, and it's in pretty bad shape. It's failing, so I mean,
So it's actually going to be removed?
so I'm just going to replace it with a new pipe that comes in here, and it's also going to catch anything that's still coming down through these yards and get it into our new system.
Besides, we're going to get the people on the other side of the creek.
So did you alert all the neighbors?
Yeah, we did mailings to everybody that was affected. They put it out on the city's website and Facebook. Public service announcement. We tried to get the word out in multiple ways.
So how big is that pipe?
This is a 4-foot by 8-foot box culvert up through here, and this one's a 4-foot by 4-foot.
So this is an existing open stream?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That's what? Okay, this is Johnson, yeah, in Gundry. Okay.
Johnson's here, yes. So right now, the water comes down through here, it overwhelms the system, runs through the yards, comes down here, and this Johnson becomes a river, and it slams
Beautiful
into this.
photos of it.
Oh yeah. So we're just wanting to keep it out of the yards and get it into the culvert instead of flooding people's houses.
Can you estimate how much difference in volume, speed, so forth you'll have it when it gets to Wilson Park?
Volume there should be no increase in volume. We're not adding impervious area. We're just replacing pipe. But,
Yeah, but pipe is impervious.
But it's all underground, and it's.
But you know what I'm saying. I mean,
it's in pipe now. It's either in pipe now or running down the street now. So.
Right.
So we're not tearing out natural channels and putting pipe in. We're just replacing pipe with pipe.
So now this would be left open through that lot?
Yeah, that's going to be left open. However, the water is going to still come down through here because we wanted to get it out from under these homes. We got 3 homes.
Well, see,
right there.
it looks like, and if you go down there, the natural flow for the surface water probably was right down here in the back of these houses. You've walked through there, I'm sure. And that's a pretty absorbent, as this lot is or was. So probably cheaper than doing all that would be to capture more water. For instance, this and these things should be to get an easement to allow water in there and try to get natural rain gardens utilized in yards. I don't know. How much is it going to cost?
For a public improvement project, we need to stick to our right-of-ways and do infrastructure. But homeowners are welcome to do LID type features. Definitely encouraged, but it's not something that we can build and maintain.
Yeah, my sister lives right here.
The more immediate problem is damage to these
I
homes.
used to in a big
So we
flood. That-
are installing a
Yeah.
system that's gonna alleviate that.
So that's gonna be rerouted.
That's
So
right.
that should be happy to hear
Yeah, I
that.
know.
Their department of system.
The private property.
Right.
We'll mostly try to stay in the right of way
Mhm.
and try to minimize where we'll need,
Oh,
easement.
okay, so it doesn't have to back up a bit,
Where
go
you
down
located?
here.
I own this house, I don't live there, it's rented.
I just spoke to your neighbor.
Okay, yeah, he actually called me about the meeting today. Yeah.
That'll be phase two,
Uh-huh.
so it's not an immediate project like
Uh-huh.
this one, but we do have the design
It's
for
all
it.
y'all
Uh-huh.
gonna be
Funding and
flooded
easements
every
are
time it
available.
rains.
Okay.
The plan is to leave that system in place, so it
Mhm.
can still function, it's gonna be water coming down the street.
Okay, definitely, yeah.
For some reason, you know, it's captured everything,
Mhm.
it's got to replace to get it.
Yeah.
I'm at,
I plan on running curb and gutter and sidewalk across the front of the property.
Oh, really? Okay.
Curb and gutter, and make sure all that water.
all this is for the,
coming down
all
the
this is
street.
gonna directly affect.
Right.
Yeah.
You will have.
I actually built a berm here.
Right.
Yeah.
So hopefully that new curb and gutter is gonna catch some of that too.
So all the water.
Uh-huh.
Replace the sidewalk there too.
Yeah, you know that.
Most of that water's gonna be captured in the
What
gutter,
is there?
and even what's left, it can be directed down to the low point.
Yeah.
Because.
So this is underground.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Accepted into.
That's gonna be
the
right
pipe.
behind or underneath the existing curb.
Okay.
So we will
We've
see.
got too many utilities out in the street, so they'll be able to pull it out in the street like we did
Mhm.
here.
Flow
But,
increases in
we
these
mainly
areas.
stay within the right of way,
Uh-huh.
the black line is our city right of way.
Right.
So if you want this, I'm glad you came, I'm gonna need,
So once we've got it all.
I'm gonna need to do some
We're
work
moving
at the, out in the
past
creek there, just to be able to stabilize it.
Uh-huh.
You've got all this water coming down through there, and we don't want
It comes
it
down
to
causing
pretty
any
quick
kind of
already.
erosion.
It comes down.
Right.
Through there, so I'd like to kind
Hard.
of get in there and grade that a little bit, armor those sides, so
Mhm.
it's not gonna wash
I mean,
away.
so the goal
Right.
would be to
So
not increase.
when you say grade, how much are you, I mean, there's some fair sized trees along in here.
Right, we may need to go up there and walk that with you,
Okay.
and kind of explain to you what we've got in mind.
Mhm.
But,
Is that gonna be our responsibility to fix that?
I just
or
don't-
is it responsibility
I don't like the
to
idea of
fix that?
How does
getting
this
that
come
water in
down
there,
like
dumping
the
it,
side
I mean,
of
if
your
I know what
yard?
goes there now,
All-
but if
Mhm.
we're in there, I'd like to go
all
ahead and get
houses
it
right here and the creek
stabilized
right
where you're not gonna
above
have any
it.
problems in the
And
future.
we
Mhm.
only about.
Okay.
you
Well,
can
we'll look at
take
that.
in About 10, 15 foot away.
I don't wanna lose more.
And right now.
Well, you know, this is
Then
unbuildable
Hamilton
because
now
of
is it.
the setbacks.
And believe me, we don't wanna take out any more trees.
There
Right.
are some
Anything that we have
natural
to,
rocks.
it's,
and
Yeah.
there are
trees are
some
good for the
concrete,
banks, the
big
stream
human
banks and
concrete
everything.
Right,
that is on
right.
there.
Any kind of exposed
And
dirt, though, we wanna
normally
make sure
you
that
live
that's
there
stabilized.
about
Yeah.
18
I'd like to keep it fairly natural. I mean, this is a mess right now in terms of undergrowth, and that's one of my goals this winter is to just get a lot of the invasives, you know, out of there, the honeysuckle.
And it never
I'd like to, you know,
really
keep it
come above
woods,
concrete.
but right now the deer hang out in there. I have a garden here and they ravage the garden.
But we,
But,
we really concerned it comes so much.
so this is phase one?
Increase the water volume
Yes.
I think we
And,
should definitely comment
This is
now, you know,
scheduled more or less for the fall if everything goes.
We hope to bid this in the
Uh-huh.
fall.
And this would be,
Yeah.
Undetermined right now,
Okay.
it kind of depends on what kind of costs we run into here with the bidding.
yeah, on
If
the.
there's funding available, then we can certainly move forward, then if council wishes to do
Right.
those too.
Okay.
We are also surveying downstream
Yeah, if
now
you-
at College,
I guess they're gonna
looking
have
at
people come
improvements
out
to
and take a look
the
at it before they
culvert that
really
goes under
start
College.
doing it.
yeah,
That's
Right
that's
now,
undersized.
very much undersized. It causes damage to those businesses and
Yeah.
close the road when it really floods. So,
Uh-huh, yeah.
looking at some options, and the culvert's in really bad shape underneath the highway, so
Uh-huh.
it's
So that we appreciate.
trying to be proactive there
Mhm.
and already have
And
it
I
done
don't
in place.
understand,
Yeah.
I know
If that
Miss
thing
Molly,
fails, it's gonna
our
be-
neighbor, he got
Yeah.
flooded one time, but she said.
Yeah, well, I'm all for getting the water under control, you know, I got the basement of this house got flooded, you know, in the big flood in 2010 or whatever.
So,
And,
We're on the uphill side.
yeah, she.
yeah, this just roars, you know, when when you have a big rainstorm.
Yeah, I thought it was odd at first, these curbs up in Johnson
They're so high.
were tall, and then,
Now you know why.
when I started this project, okay, I know, I understand.
Yeah.
It's for a reason.
Yeah, that's the drainage.
Mhm.
What kind of programs
So you can
does the city have to encourage people, I mean, to you know, take care of stormwater more on their property, you know, with things like rain gardens and...
Well, we definitely have all the information available for anybody that's interested in that. It's not something that it's something we encourage, but we don't necessarily have a program
Right.
to promote it so
Mhm.
much, but it's not something really feasible for the city to be involved with for something like this. Our goal here is protection of the homes, flood protection.
Mhm.
We've got an immediate demand for that,
Mhm.
but that's something we can install in the
Yeah.
Really hard.
We do like the idea of private homeowners doing what they can.
Yeah. It'd be great to have, you know, an active education program, you know, just letting people know that the more they do, the less chance everybody has of flooding. What about new construction? I know I worked in architecture in Austin, and in Austin, if you build a, you know, commercial building, all of your stormwater has to be taken care of, you know, on site.
Right, you know, if you were coming through with a large-scale development or even a small site improvement plan, it would have to go through our engineering department to evaluate the engineering. You'd have to have
I don't have a yes or no.
to show that you're not increasing the flow. And actually, we have a new drainage manual that's going to go into council here in a couple of weeks, a few weeks. That's going to incorporate again new level of protection and encouraging more scenarios and allowing more credit for that to be able to offset. Trying to get some incentives there. That's kind of development too.
So, excuse me, you don't think the council will consider making it the low impact manual required as opposed to just an option like this?
Sarah may be able to answer that a little better, but right now it is optional.
Yeah, I know. I was hoping.
The question was, LID is optional, but we're not looking at making that mandatory anytime soon.
Correct.
Until it's like Austin, it's not going to do much good.
Yeah.
You know.
You know, and it is doable, you know, to take care of stormwater.
It could have been done decades ago.
Yeah.
You know, it's not something that wasn't known.
So I think, you know, that would really help.
I think it's definitely more feasible for a new development and redevelopment to be able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, certainly.
It's definitely different than what we're trying to accomplish here.
Right.
We're trying
It's
to
a residential thing.
for protection instead of.
Right, but it's all related, you know, it's...
Right.
You almost have some LID happening in this neighborhood because the house footprint.
Water, you know, it's an asset, and if you can store it in the ground rather than having it rush through.
Well, you know, we actually.
I know you know all
we
these
actually ran
things.
some scenarios where we would, see what it would take, just for example, I did one here.
Mhm.
We bought out a large chunk of land here and put in a pond,
Mhm.
and it didn't help.
Yeah.
It really, it had to be so huge to be able to make an impact.
Right.
that It wasn't feasible, because we'd have to buy, you know, half the neighborhood out here to be
Right.
able to do that. I looked at one there, we looked at one up here, just trying to minimize the amount of improvements here, but it was.
Yeah.
It just didn't work.
Yeah, it doesn't seem feasible to, you know, buy a whole block, but if you took, you know, that little rain garden and started to build it, you know, throughout the structure of the city, that would make a difference. But I guess that's something for activist citizens to start to work on. Get those commercial people to be responsible for their water.
seeing a lot of commercial development in this.
Yeah.
See, if you go down, if you follow the trail
Mhm.
downstream along Gully Park, along Skull Creek, excuse me,
Mhm.
and all through there, and you have areas where the trail is built where it's flooded several times
Mhm.
above it. Since the trail was built out there,
Yeah.
it was
Oh
like
yeah, I ride it all the time, and
just
often gravel.
awful gravel across it. But I remember in '07 being out there after they'd had a flood, and I was actually walking with the mayor, and this man came along and he said, "Yeah." I said, "Well, how deep would it be that day you were talking about when it flooded a while back?" He said, "Well, where we're standing, it would have been about..."
Oh yeah.
And that was on the paved trail. But the trail building plan has been, just crazy. There should be no light on the streams. The trees should be shaded there. There should be no paving. It should be a 100-foot barrier on the streams. And you do that in the new parts of town.
Mhm.
You obviously can't do it here.
Right.
But, yeah, it's, you just get too old to appreciate next year, we're going to do the right thing.
Right.
Well, one thing I would be interested in doing is there's about an 8-foot drop from the sidewalk down to the stream, and I want to build a fence along in front of this wooded lot. But you guys have these heavy duty, galvanized rails. That would be something that would really be helpful there.
Thank you very much.
Because it's the way it's built, it's all masonry, and it's hard to get, for me to get fence posts in there and that sort of thing.
Okay, I'm not sure we could work out something like that, right?
Mhm.
I know the design now has some wing walls, and kind of,
Mhm.
they're all coming down, and then that'd be
Uh-huh.
concrete apron.
Yeah.
So that the water splash out
Mhm.
and protect, and we, in most cases, put rails on those, but if
Mhm.
you prefer to have fence along here to where the public could get to it, then that's certainly an option.
Mhm. Yeah, right. This was all stone at one time, I guess.
Yeah, so I think the remnants
Mhm.
of that down through there.
Yeah. Okay. Do you have a card?
Yes.
Thank you.
I've got a lot of stuff on the
Okay,
watershed
I saw
issues.
you last night.
Yeah.
I've never been in this room, and then 2 days
2 days in a row. So it's just up to the public to say to the council, why don't we make it mandatory? If you're finally going to publish the book, low impact manual,
Yeah, the public can say we don't make it mandatory.
but no, the staff's not even going to mention it.
Okay. 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 Yeah, I remember.
It's not always a
I just emailed you about my
best
mom's
option
house.
for every
I just sold it.
site.
It was in there, so. It's 803.
For every.
I guess it's off the map. But just telling you that.
Well, you may be right there.
I knew on that.
But that's why we have exceptions. If it can't be done, or it's not the most practical way, or effective way to control the runoff, then
Right.
sure there'd be exceptions.
What is, you guys did something over on Olive, pretty major recently, didn't you guys put this, or you just put a culvert in? Maybe
You
it's something
know
else.
something down on Olive, Sarah? Is that?
I thought it was right
Was
here.
it Lafayette and Olive? Yeah, was it Lafayette?
I thought it was down here.
Well, let me show you one thing that's been done not so long ago. Yeah, right here.
Mhm.
Oh, you can see that.
We installed a inlet
Oh.
right there,
Mhm.
and another one over here.
Okay. Alright, so I guess this will have inlets.
Yes, sir, all those
Okay.
white boxes.
Oh, the white boxes, okay. Alright, well, thanks.
Did you sign in? Sir, did you sign in? Do you want to take a comment sheet?
Oh, sure.
Or fill out a comment sheet? Sure.
The one with the wife and child?
Yeah. They are concerned, they are where the stream, where the compost should be gonna, and they wanna make sure that,